What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we are gonna take a look at Peacemaker from Hot Toys, and you can, yeah, it's sold out. It's sold out at Big Bad, but you can get any other Hot Toys at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. Finally pulled the trigger on this guy right here. He was a great looking figure even when he was announced, but I didn't have the urge to buy him right off the bat. And then we got this dry spell while nothing was coming out of Hot Toys, so I was just like, you know what, let me get this. I also got, you know, Shang-Chi and Wenwu, as you guys know. Whenever there's like dry spell, I tend to pick up things that I don't really love. But this guy's both purchased, both Shang-Chi and Wenwu and Peacemaker. I might not be the biggest fan of their shows, but undoubtedly the figures are amazing. This guy right here reminded me of figure-wise Hellboy. The body, the way you handle him, just the overall feel that you know in your hand you do have a quality figure. Regardless of how you feel about Hellboy's movie or Peacemaker show, which I think is very good. I think he's also good in Suicide Squad. Those movies are not really my cup of tea. That's why I didn't jump on it right away. I'm more of a Dark Knight, serious tone kind of guy, but he's DC. I have a soft spot for DC, and you know, here we are. So, as you can see, he has a decent amount of accessories. You got the, you know, wrist pegs that are blue, which is cool. You've got a, you know, alternate helmet. There's so many revisions of this guy that they made it so good. Like the helmet back then wasn't chromed. He only has one faceplate. There is a joint on the elbow, but those all got rectified, and the final result is just an amazing figure. Again, like I said, reminds me of Hellboy. Didn't like that movie that much. Watched it once. I don't even remember what it's said about, but the figure itself is phenomenal. And I know that's not enough for some guys, and I totally get it. Not loving the film is not a good, I would say, basis for buying a figure. But for me, you know, I'm a figure fan, so just I'll go ahead and do that. And then you got this alternate faceplate, which, if you were around when it was announced, he only had one faceplate, and that was the one with the tongue out. And you know, the backlash of the people back then was just unbelievable, and for good reasons. I mean, the display options, imagine if that's the only part, is not gonna be that good. The gloves here, he doesn't have enough hands. I would say he only has, like, you know, 2 pairs. This is the I would say weapon wielding hand. This is, you know, you can have him hold the axe or the sword, and then you do have some open palm hands. Not sure, this looks like for, honestly, this looks like for equally, so he would land, you know, when he's kind of calling him or something. The other one is open palm. You got the silencer for the gun that, as you know, you can take off with minimal force, I would say. And you got this beautiful sword. It's not die cast, but it's nicely painted. There's a lot of details on it. You know, painted cool as well. And you got the Peacemaker, you got the doves inside his axe. Looks nice there. I don't know what's up with the paint that I do have on the axe itself, but it's okay. No complaints there whatsoever. You got another pair of helmet, which is cool. You know, as you know, on the show, he has different ones for different uses. You got the Sonic ones. I don't know which one this is, but I love this faceplate because it feels like you do have 3 head sculpts with it. Because you got the serious one, you got this. You can take out the tongue, so now he's just screaming. And of course, you got Eagly here, which is you know, a beloved character on the show. And this is like those regular animal toys that you would get. I know, because I have kids, and you know, we buy animals toys on Target. This one, you know, surprisingly looks good, you know, paint application wise. You know, I mean, you're not gonna mistake it for a real eagle, but you know, It looks better than Einstein by Marty. And the plus is that you can interchange his wings to this open wing one. So you know, that's a display option that you do have, which is pretty cool. You know, you didn't have to do that, but they did. So I like it. There's so many things that is included in this Peacemaker that it's just a fun figure to have. It's amazing. Let me see this, and now you got the base, and now let's take a look at the tailoring for this guy right here. Looks pretty cool. I love everything here because the pants are textured. Now you got the rubber belt. It's not leather. Even the holsters, it looks like it's leather, but it's textured rubber basically. Consistent with his gauntlets and his gloves. Moving up here on his shirt, mixed media here on the shirt. So you got the fabric red suit, and then on wrap around his arms by the bicep area and on the side, they're like rubber. Rubber for me is not as bad as pleather, although I haven't really experienced that much flaking in the 12 plus or 14 plus years that I've been collecting Hot Toys. But I don't want it to start. Now, as you can see here, it's a boot that is one piece. It's not, you know, the split cut design, but on the articulation piece, I can show you that there's some movement on his ankles. He's a bit heavy. He's a bit heavier on the figure side. I think this is a brand new body, I'm assuming, but it looks phenomenal. I love it. On the back hand here, looks good. You can see there's some nice, I don't know, I just love the overall, just how well he is put together. You know, you can see the rubber piece on the side of his pants as well. Going up here, the sleeves, you know, like everything else. The elbows are nice. I don't know, man. The texture on the gloves, the pants doesn't hinder any articulation. I just love the overall feel and look of the figure. Now let's go into the John Cena head sculpt. I think this is one of their better ones. As you can see here, maybe the face could be a little longer, and the neck, that I forgot. It's shiny because there's still a plastic wrap on his neck. But you can see it's a really strong resemblance to John Cena. Maybe a longer neck would have, you know, be better, but it depends on the angle as well. But trust me, you get this in hand, no doubt in your mind that this is John Cena. The chrome helmet there, as you can see me in the background wearing a shirt with my camera on. It's a fingerprint magnet, as you can tell. Any chrome surface really. This is being held via magnet on both sides. The way they produce this thing is phenomenal, in my opinion. As you can see here, they could have made a, you know, full-blown head sculpt, but I guess we'll do that in Peacemaker 2. There is a company, I believe So Toys is making an unmasked head sculpt for $70. So if that's something that you want, you could do that. You can see on his forehead, that is where the magnet goes through for his helmet. This looks pretty strong, and I like the fact that he does have rolling eyeball system. On the back right there, it's individual, so I guess it's single rolling eyeball system, not, you know, parallel. But it is nice. It is very nice because you could pull off different expressions. Especially he has a different facial expression. So it's becoming a standard, but the combo of faceplate and rolling eyeball system is just a dream. Because like I said, if you're a photographer, you could pull off some nice shots. And here he is with a tongue out, and then I'm gonna cut and put the helmet on. It looks nice. That's another look. You can, you know, move the eyes one way or another just to, you know, have a different type of expression if you want to. I also like the fact that the chin, that is where kind of like the seam starts and ends. I love it. You can see on the back right there. It is a very nice look. You could take out the tongue, so now he's just screaming. The tongue is more of a playful tone if you're feeling that way, on a certain day. I wish I could have stick this into my Michael Jordan on Enter Bay. That would have been nice. But as you can see here, the teeth nicely painted as well. The eyes, John Cena's eyes. When you take out the tongue, it's held via magnet. So he has 2 tongues, basically. There's another one there. And this is more of a, like he's just screaming, ready for battle. And I always feel like Hot Toys, especially now with the emphasis on realism, should always have 2 head sculpts. One is just stoic, kind of like what we have, and one is a bit more expressive, like this. So if you are putting them in an action pose or interacting with another Hot Toys, it'll look good, picture-wise. So now let's go to articulation. You would think that this guy is not highly articulated because of, the way he is. But he actually is very well articulated. You can see the head here rotates. The neck is fixed on the body. But for some reason, the head sculpt is it's kind of loose. Not overtly loose, but, loose enough to move it around. The arms are on its separate joint. You can move him up here. The elbow bend is really impressive. Just thinking that this is a seamless body, but there's a lot of air inside of his biceps, so there's a lot of room once you do that crunch. Now the abs, of course, he's a bigger figure. A little bit of just a little bit of give there. The legs, you can probably get this higher than I could. His pants gets obviously tighter the more you lift up the leg. He got some big quads there. The knees could bend really well as well. The knees also, you can have him go in a split. You probably could do further, but you gotta adjust the pants as you go along. I can't believe this arms, with the air. It feels weird at times, but I know why there's a lot of space and air gap in there. And look at this pose right here. Holding the gun, eyes looking at his target, minimal head tilt because of the eyes. You can simulate that he's looking somewhere. The background is, from Suicide Squad. You can even see him laying down there. Got shot by a flag, but it looks good. The only, I would say, downside is you don't really have a lot of figures to complement him with. I mean, sure, you can have him join DC, or if you have Suicide Squad like myself, the first movie, perhaps you can put him in there. Maybe King Shark, but other than that, he doesn't, Hot Toys never really went deep with not only Peacemaker, but the Suicide Squad movie as well. This is him where they, again, it's in the Suicide Squad movie. They made a mistake and killed their allies, basically. But yeah, they're in the jungle. Looking good, man. Like I said, look at that elbow bend right there when he is holding that axe over his head. And that's just the expression. He's screaming. He's mad. He's about to attack. So this is what makes this figure fun, in my opinion. Because the variety of poses that you can pull off. And here he is, like in the famous intro with Eagly dancing. I didn't, take my time to remove him from the background there, but you could do that too. You can have Eagly post just on his feet. You can have him. I was gonna do him, like just him Eagly sitting down. That was the initial thought. On his arm, like he just landed. But the talons are kind of sharp that I was afraid that I'm gonna scratch / damage his arm, or because I have a rotating turntable that he's just gonna fall off and break his beak, something like that. So I was just like, you know what, I'll just put him on his feet. That's most likely what's gonna be the post anyway. And final thoughts on the figure. By the way, I put him in a dancing pose, just kind of like the intro in the movie. In the show. Man, I'm really happy with this. It's a damn good figure. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of the show, but I don't love it maybe as strongly as others do. But I like it. I like the show real well. I think it's fun. I'm just more of a, a serious tone kind of superhero movie. I like the Endgame and Dark Knight and all that stuff. With that being said, still a very good figure. Very fun to have. A lot of display options. A lot of things that you could do. Downside, not a whole lot of complementary pieces around him. Again, if you have Harley Quinn from the first movie, that might work. I got Joker and Deadshot, so I'm planning to display him there. I'm not holding my breath that we are gonna get more Suicide Squad figures, but I just couldn't. How can I say this? I couldn't let it slip by, knowing that this is one of the better figures that have been released lately, and I'm not gonna own it. So I like it. Same way I like my Shang-Chi and Wenwu. I'm sure I'm not gonna. I'm sure they'll be on the back burner. This guy right here, once the big hitters for me comes in, which is Batman, the Pattinson Batman, and Wolverine's in my pile of loot, and also Spider-Man, Black Adam. Those are kind of like what gravitates me towards too. But again, it doesn't take away the fact that it's a damn good figure. But thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.